All right, hey guys, I wanted to try something different. Just posting short 1 to 2 minute devotionals daily from our DT texts. And I think primarily because a lot of you guys are going home for the summer. And so I want to start that today. And our text today is found in 1 Samuel chapter 4. And I think this text struck me because there is a kind of sin that doesn't look like outright rebellion because it kind of looks like you're doing nothing, but man, the consequences can be just as devastating. And it's in Eli in 1 Samuel. He was a priest of God. He was someone that it seemed like he cared about God's presence because when the ark was taken in this chapter, he grieved for that. And he even had a sense of moral wrong when he saw his sons committing sin and abusing their power as priests and his response towards that. The problem was he never acted on it. He was passive. I mean, he confronted his sons a little bit, but it was just enough to kind of put like a little slap on the hand, but he never really responded to their sins in the way that it warranted. And then what happened was he just tolerated what he should have dealt with. And I think the result, it was pretty devastating. I mean, Israel loses the battle in this chapter. 30,000 people are killed. His two sons are killed. And the ark, it was taken. In other words, the glory of God, it departs. And part of it, like part of that traces back to his quiet passivity. And this text, it made me stop and think, like, where am I doing the same? Is there areas of my life that I've gotten comfortable with something that I think once would have convicted me before, or things that I'm avoiding dealing with or confronting because it's just easier to keep the peace? This matters because scripture says we are hardened by the deceitfulness of sin. The common movement of life is towards hardening because of the deceitfulness of sin. And the way to break free from that is what scripture calls speaking the truth in love. To speak hard truth out of your love for that person. So real love, it speaks, it steps in, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it disturbs the peace, even when it costs something. Because here's the thing, if we don't, and we just tolerate that, it doesn't just stay there. It actually ends up spreading, and the consequences are a lot worse than we think it is. Kind of like what we see with Eli, with Israel, and with his two sons. So I think the question that this text presents us with is this: where are we choosing comfort over love and calling it wisdom? And so I wanted to exhort you guys. Don't ignore whatever comes to your mind, especially if it hits you in your sense of morality or value or what seems right or wrong in the eyes of God. Bring it to God. That's the first step. But I would encourage you, take one more step of obedience by bringing it up with that person and speaking that truth in love. Because in the end, if that person receives it, man, you save them from what could have been a devastating result in their lives.